Welcome. We're going to do a bit of movement, a bit of breathing, a bit of seated meditation today. So I invite you to start by just really feeling whatever's beneath you. If your legs are crossed, maybe uncross them. Maybe you just root down through your hips. If there's something behind your back, really feel what part of your back touching that. How's your body temperature? Are you too hot? Maybe you take a layer off. Are you feeling chilly? Maybe you put a layer on. We'll start with some super duper gentle movements. Now, I invite you to start with a twist, and this might just be like the tiniest little twist, just looking to one side. And then very slowly coming back through center and looking to the other side. And then moving like this, maybe introducing a bit more movement as you go. Maybe you use the hand on the opposite thigh. Maybe you involve the mid-spine and the low spine. Or maybe not. Maybe stick with the neck. Whatever feels good. Maybe it's stretching into the shoulders and that feels nice. Or maybe you're really rooting down through the hips and lifting up through the crown of the head. Just discovering what the body feels like today. And remember, we are a different body every day. So if your range of motion is bigger or smaller than it was yesterday, that's okay. That's normal. It's no big deal. We're just observing and noticing rather than judging or feeling self-critical. And then I'll invite you in your own time to come back to center. Shake it out if you want to or need to. And our second movement will be some seated cat-cows. And again, you can take these super extra small, just starting with the neck. Looking down and looking up. And again, slow movements are great because we get to feel every little bit of the range of motion instead of rushing through parts that might feel a bit sticky or might feel like we need to linger there to really get the benefits. And then if you like, you can involve the rest of the spine in your cat-cows, really arching the back, tucking the chin to the chest, and then pulling the collarbones through the shoulders as you tip the tailbone and look up towards the ceiling. And again, moving at your own pace. You don't have to match me. It can be slower than me. It can be faster than me. Maybe you're feeling full of energy. Maybe this is actually a day where you need to take it really easy. It's all welcome. And I'll invite you to add the breath. So inhaling and exhaling with the movement. Start bringing attention to how the breath feels. Inhaling to look up and exhaling into our cat pose, arching the back, rounding the spine. And we'll do a couple more of these, matching the breath to the movement. And then once again, when you feel ready, there's no rush. We'll come back into neutral and make our way into whatever pose feels great to spend a little bit of time breathing and meditating. So that might mean sticking something behind the low back. It might mean lying down. It might mean closing the eyes. And if for whatever reason that doesn't work for you, just lower the gaze. Make the eyes go a little fuzzy. Bring yourself into this moment, this space, right here, right now. Arrive. And just watch the breath for a moment in and out. Through the nose where you can, but there's no pressure. If like me, you're dealing with a bit of a cold and breathing through the mouth is what's available, then that's where we start. We start with what's easy. We start with what comes naturally, and we explore the edges of that. We explore our limits, not necessarily to push the boundary, but to find out where the boundary is and to say, okay, this is where I am today. So again, you don't have to be in any particular posture. Sitting, standing, lying down is all welcome. We're looking to feel relaxed. So maybe if there's places that are tense, sometimes it's the jaw, give yourself a yawn. Sometimes it's the shoulders, and sometimes the easiest way to release tension in the shoulders is to actually counterintuitively add a bit more tension. So bringing the shoulders up towards the ears and then rolling them back, rolling the shoulder blades down the back and feeling that, just letting go. Let the hands be really heavy, either on your lap or on your seat beside you. And then we also want to cultivate this feeling of alertness. Of course, if you fall asleep, that's what your body needed, and we can't beat ourselves up for that. But the goal is to cultivate a sense of alertness and a sense of awareness. So thinking about having openness in the front of your body, having your heart open to receiving whatever is going to come to you. And if you have an intention to set, now's a great time to set that. So usually the first thing that comes to mind is the right thing for today. You can always set a different intention tomorrow. It's great to set these intentions in present tense as if they have already happened, as if we have already channeled them into our lives. I am rested. I am relaxed. I am aware. Or any other characteristic that you're interested in having more of in your life. And we send it out into the universe. Let the universe conspire to help make it so. And if you've lost the breath, come back to it, inhaling and exhaling, feeling the body expand and contract on each inhale and exhale. Inviting softness into your face, letting the forehead be smooth and letting the eyes, all of the many muscles around the eyes be soft, letting the eyes sink deeper into their sockets. Letting the jaw be soft. If the tongue has found its way to the top of the roof of the mouth, just maybe invite it to come back down into the lower jaw, to be wide, to be relaxed. And then coming into the belly, watching the belly rise on the inhale and watching the belly sink on the exhale. And these don't have to be big movements, but inhale, we allow the diaphragm to do the work. We allow all of the internal muscles to kind of squish and expand and move so that the lungs can fill with new oxygen. And then we let the belly sink as the diaphragm comes up and all of the air comes out of the lungs. And as we settle in, I'll invite you to ask yourself, how is my body feeling in this moment? And this is an easy question to never ask ourselves, especially if the answer sometimes is not great. Can we approach this question with equanimity, with self-compassion, not with an outlook to change how the body is feeling, but just to identify and say, oh, I'm feeling like this, or I have this sensation, or it's really easy for me to know how this side of my body is feeling and I'm less connected to the other side. Just neutrally, without judgment. And then I invite you to ask yourself, How is my mind feeling in this moment? Are you having a lot of thoughts, or is it pretty still today? Is there something going on in your heart? Are you feeling a strong emotion? Or maybe you're feeling more neutral. And again, there's no right or wrong, no should, just noticing. Just simply allowing whatever's happening to be in our awareness. How does your body, how does your mind feel right now? And we'll dive a bit deeper into that. What's going on physically or mentally in your body? So, how is this manifesting into any sensations that you're experiencing? So, for instance, is there any tightness or tension somewhere in the body? Sometimes the body holds tension as a protective measure. And sometimes that's good and that's really important, but other times it's not necessary. So, if you are experience a place of constriction or tightness, can you breathe into that area? For me, it's often the shoulders. For a lot of people, it's the low back or the hips. Sometimes the hands can come into fists and we don't even realize it. See if there's anywhere in your body that you can soften, that you can breathe into, that you can let go of even a tiny little bit, even 1%. And when the mind wanders, which the mind is very wont to do, and that's normal, that's okay, that happens to everyone, we just notice. We notice where we are. We notice that the mind is trying to pull us out of the present moment. And we just say, oh, I'm going to come back to right here, to right now, to the breath, to the sensations, to this moment, and this moment, and this moment. There could be thoughts or emotions, and sometimes these are really lovely, and so we would love to follow them. And other times they're a little bit annoying and they're pulling us and we follow them even though we don't want to. Whichever way, we don't have to identify with the thoughts or the emotions. We can say, oh, this is thinking, or this is feeling. And then we can say, I'm going to come back to my breath. I'm going to invite you to take 3 really deep breaths in through the nose where you can. And an exhale with a sigh through the mouth. And if there's any tension, we can just let it go with that sigh in through the nose. And out through the mouth. And then one more time on your own. Letting the front of the body be open. Really softening. Relaxing. Allowing the breath to come to its natural rhythm again. And then once again, taking a moment to notice any body sensations. Has anything changed? Is anything vibrating, moving? Is anything drawing your attention? Are there any parts of the body that feel very quiet, very still? And then I'll invite you to feel the contact points between you and what's supporting you, the floor, the chair, a mat, a bed, cushion, wherever you are. Really sense your feet, your seat, allowing yourself to be grounded, to feel pretty heavy, to trust that whatever is beneath you is supporting you very well. You don't have to do much work at all. Sense that connection. Maybe you feel your clothing or the pressure of the weight of your body against what's beneath you. What is that sensation like? Is it the same on the left as the right side of the body? Are there places where this sensation is more or less intense? And again, thoughts might be coming up, concerns might be coming up. You might have a little nagging voice in the back of your head reminding you of something to do or something you didn't do or something you said many years ago. This is not a problem. The mind thinks about the past all the time. And when the mind is not busy thinking about the past, it projects into the future. And it thinks that it's doing us a great favor. The mind thinks that it is keeping us safe. And that's great. It's doing its job. But the body stays in the present moment. The body cannot move into the past and the future the way the mind can. So when this happens, simply tell the mind, I'm going to come back to the breath. We're going to come back to the sensations in the body. This is why so often in meditation we either use the breath as a point of focus, or we do a body scan, or we listen or visualize. It keeps us here. It keeps us in the now. It keeps us in the present moment with the body. Come back to the breath. Maybe you gently increase the length of the breath, the depth of the breath, to whatever feels, again, like it's reaching your boundary, your limit, your threshold of what's comfortable in your body, not what's possible in your body. I think that's easy to conflate. What's comfortable is usually 70 or 80% of what's possible. Keep it comfortable, keep it easy. Notice the belly rise and fall. Notice the chest rise on the inhale and sink on the exhale. And if that's difficult or it's not really connecting, feel free to put the hand on the heart or the hands on the belly. Subtle movement is still movement, and it's perfect. Can you breathe into the back side of the body? Can you breathe into the back ribs, into the kidneys? Can you breathe into the upper back? Feeling the whole rib cage expand on the inhale and contract on the exhale. This is embodied awareness. Staying with these experiences, being very, very curious about our own body, about what's happening in our body, about the interaction between what we can sense, what's going on. Can we keep our attention here in this moment, in this moment, in this moment? We use these sensory experiences, what can we feel, as a way to connect to right now. And again, we don't have to push any thoughts away. We don't have to suppress our emotions. We can simply identify them. This is thinking. This is feeling. And usually the less we resist, the easier they are to just float away. If they're very important, they'll come back after our meditation. Take a moment in silence to rest in this embodied awareness. And then as we come to the end of this meditation, bring your attention to your heart center. Find some gratitude for yourself. You've taken time to cultivate your practice. In any moment, you can reconnect to your body, to your breath, to this sense of groundedness. Where we can create space, where we can create ease, where we can create rootedness. I invite you to start moving very gently and slowly, maybe starting just with the idea of movement. What part of your body will you move? Your fingers, your toes, muscles in your face. And then ask your body, what type of stretch would it like as you gently come out of some stillness back into the wider world, taking your time. Maybe again with a sigh, inhaling in, letting the breath out through the mouth. And then if your eyes are closed, gently, slowly, so the light comes in easily, you can open your eyes. Thanks for practicing with me today.